Hey, I'm Jamie Rowe.
I'm Tony Palacios.
I'm David Bach.
I'm Carl Ney.
Welcome to our latest Guardian mockumentary, if you will. We got a few new videos to show you, some interviews, some behind-the-scenes footage, and hopefully we'll have a good time. So come along with us. Guardian actually started back in 1982, so we've been around for quite a while. I'm the only original member left, the last of the Mohicans, if you will. And in the early days, we were kind of young, naive Christians. We wanted to form a rock band and tell people about Jesus. And we wore this wild space armor. We called ourselves Fusion. We were like Luke Skywalker meets Eddie Van Halen. By a fluke of nature, actually by God's hand, we were signed with Enigma Records in 1985. One night, this car pulls up, and this tall, good-looking, Latin-looking gentleman gets out of his car. He gets out of the car. We're going, who's this guy? And why don't you tell him a little bit about that?
So I'm sitting there listening to demo tapes. I'm like, wow, this is kind of trippy stuff. It was hilarious because the drummer, I guess, like Dave said, was really kind of frustrated with the other guitar player. And so he had it all set up, man. He was telling me how cool it was. I actually met with him one time before I actually came down with you guys.
Unbeknownst to us, Tony Palacios had come down to audition to our band. And
he set up this audition. I pull up, and I'm pulling my gear out. And I go in, and Dave and the other singer, the old singer, and we're looking at me like, what is going on? Who is this guy? I'm thinking, boy, these guys aren't very nice now, are they? We came all the way to audition. And so I ended up auditioning, and actually didn't get in the band then. That was a couple months before I even joined.
We had no idea that he was to audition. We knew he was a great player, but it just took us by such surprise. But it turned out that Tony ended up joining our band. It was either 85 or 86. He really felt, as strange as it may seem, that God had called him to this band. We did make our record with Oz Fox on Enigma Records, and at that time we thought, okay, this is it. We've hit the big time. We go in the studio with a guitar player from Stryper who was selling millions of records. We make this record. Our record company is behind us. We're on Enigma Capital. We're set to tour the world. We headed off on our first U.S. tour, which was up in the Northwest area. And driving all night, couldn't wait to get there. Our booking agent was waiting for us up there, said he had great accommodations for us. This was a house that was owned by a drug dealer that was recently seized, and it's been boarded up. The weeds were high enough that we could shower in privacy, but we each took our first cold water shower, and that was our first indoctrination to road life. We played everywhere and anywhere. Being on a mainstream label, we played bars, clubs, auditoriums, some churches, basically anywhere that we could.
I remember when I first moved to LA in 86, I went to a place called Guitar Center, and I saw this flyer on the wall, and it said, "Put on the full armor of God." And guess who it was? These guys with their full armor of God sitting up there, and it says Guardian, and this whole thing, man. And I just went to my friend, I said, "Look at this, man. This is ridiculous."
Carl hadn't played drums for quite a few months.
2 years.
2 years. And Tony was a little concerned. So
I'll tell you how I was concerned. I wasn't going to waste my time with a guy who hadn't played drums in 2 years. We were all kind of sitting in there praying, getting ready to rehearse stuff. And Carl walks in the door, and God, I just distinctly remember God just said, "There's your man." And as we come up on the rehearsal space, we kind of turn the corner, and I hear, dun, 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 dun.
I mean, really
bad drum, and I'm like, listen to that guy, he stinks. Gosh, and I said, I really felt God say this was the guy. Listen to him play. So I turned the door and look in, and it was our singer at the time on the drums going.
Much to Tony's relief.
Much to my relief. And then Carl got on and steady ho, baby.
And then Tony was friends with John and Dino Elefante. And just as a casual conversation, they said, "Well, guys, we're forming a label. Would you like to make a record with us?" We go, "Well, we don't even have a singer." And they go, "Well, you know what? Let's just kind of wing it." And at that point, the great singer hunt began. Yeah. And as it turned out,
real quick before we go any further here, you got to understand. I lived in Indiana at the time, and all I see is like Guardian, and Stryper's involved there and stuff, and they got a major deal going here. They're from LA. I thought, these guys are flipping rock stars, man. I mean, driving around in limos and everything,
everything. So that's the impression I have of the boys here. So
We popped in this tape, and we have this thing that Tony and I call the chill factor. He started to sing, and it was basically just him a cappella. John and Dino, in their faith, had already had us start recording this record, which was later called Fire and Love, without a singer. So here it was. We had cut basic tracks, and when we decided it was going to be Jamie, Jamie flew out, basically got off the plane, went straight into the studio. Fire and Love was also a landmark for us in that we got to make our first music video, the song, which was the very first song on the record, Power of Love. We got to make that in an old electric cable factory. We set up Carl's drums on some
Way up on some
big old
spindles.
spools of cables, and that was our first video. And interestingly enough, that one was actually shown on MTV because at that time Epic had picked up our record, and that was the very first bona fide Guardian video, Power of Love, and you're going to see it right now. Here it is.
Can you feel the power? Listen up, back on my feet. I finally broke loose and I got something to say.
let's see, David, kind of an organized fellow, behind the computer all the time. He's really into that whole Macintosh thing, and really kind of like the founding member of the band and the hard driver.
You know, he's a founding member of this band and everything, and he's got great business sense. He's responsible for a lot of our business dealings. I think he's a monster bass player. I think he underrates himself sometimes. I think he's one of the best rock and roll bassists you can find.
David brings, I think, a lot of vision to the band as far as our direction in what we call our business of Guardian.
Living with
There you
David,
go.
long suffering. That would be mine.
One night we were playing Gazzari's, and we went down to our favorite barbecue place, and we're walking back, and we walk past this jewelry store, and there's this big limo out in front, and we're all walking by. We kind of ignore it because it's Hollywood, and Tony goes, Dave, look. And there was this unmistakable profile in there. He goes, dude, it's James Brown. I go, no, it can't be. He goes, dude, that is James Brown. No one has hair like that and wears those kind of suits, and he had these big old bodyguards. So our old drummer came back at that time. This was just before Carl joined, and he's going, what's up? I go, dude, that's James Brown. Our drummer goes, who's James Brown? He goes, you guys like him? I'll go in and talk to him. We're going, no, man, don't go in, you know, 'cause he's got these bodyguards and stuff. And our drummer goes in and goes, hello, Mr. Brown. I don't know who you are, but my friends out here are really big fans, and they're wondering if they could take a picture with you. And I'm thinking, okay, his bodyguards are going to come out and beat
Kill
us
us
up
at any
and crush us.
moment.
And you know what? James came out, and we asked him, oh, can we take a picture? And what did James do?
I'll never forget, man. It was regal. He says, comb! And his bodyguard's big 6'7" guy whips out a comb, and James
combed his hair, and you know what? And he got in the middle of us, shook all our hands, took a picture. I mean, here we were, these little punky rock kids bugging him, you know, and he was so gracious, and so he took a picture and said, well, congratulations, guys. And it was funny because our drummer said, James, we're a Christian band, and this is right after James was having a lot of legal problems. We're a Christian band, and we believe in no drugs and all that. And I'll never forget James. He put his hand on our drummer's shoulder and says, young man, I commend you. I commend you, young man. Go forth. So with James's blessing at that point, we knew that the sky was the limit. Our very next record, after a 2-year non-stop blitz of touring, was an album called Miracle Mile. We had decided we wanted to make kind of a pseudo-concept record based around kind of like an old traveling medicine show. And when we finally convinced our record company that it could work and could happen, we went into the studio and made that one. And that song had a bunch of interesting story songs in that there were a lot of songs about people and characters and that kind of thing. And so when it came time to do the video, we picked a very interesting song.
This is our video from Miracle Mile. This is Shoe Shine Johnny, and here it is.
You sometimes just do
Tony Palacios, the guitar hero of Guardian. Tony and I have been together the longest in the band. We're practically like brothers. We fight like brothers. In fact, a lot of times Jamie and Carl will get out of our way. We'll have these radical musical disagreements, and then we just shake it off like brothers would do. Tony is really, he's probably one of my best friends. He and I have been through a lot together, you know, personal with our families and stuff. His dad was my pastor.
He was my first friend in Guardian. He was the reason I joined the band, because I knew him, and I think he's a talented musician and stuff like that. I think he's a great performer. I admire his ministry skills. He seems to be the mouthpiece of the band as far as like our on-stage ministry a lot of times.
Tony, first of all, brings a really strong background of biblical knowledge, which is really cool. And not to downplay the other guys in our band, but he's went to Bible college, so he's, quote, our Bible scholar.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
If I had to sum my husband up in one word, I'd say intense.
We wanted to do a video that was just really wild and just tons of characters and just kind of a big, you know, just a really big production. So, man, we had people running in and out, senior citizens. That was one of my favorite scenes.
Midgets, llamas. Was it
that was
llama?
emu.
Is it
Chihuahua.
emu?
Chihuahua.
The thing, though, what I was going to say is the senior citizens, man, that it was late in the day. They've been hanging around for a long time, and so that all these elderly people came, and, you know, we're, you know, blasting the playback full volume, and they're sitting around trying to act like this is fun. And man, so a couple they were really cool, but a couple of the old guys that I was hanging with started getting crankety and stuff. And
Here comes that smoke.
and here comes that smoke again. And one guy got up and just walked out and left, and they were like, he never came back.
That was it.
That
So,
was funny.
And we have that video here, don't we?
Yeah.
Which
Tell
one
me
was
about
it?
it.
Well, it's called Way Home Back. Here it is.
Everybody's got something they could give every day. Make a little bit better, help somebody find the way. This old life keeps rolling, surely does every day. Make a little bit better, help somebody find the way. Gotta light the way on the way home back. 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 Lord have mercy. Everyone's got something to say, looking on to a better day. We forgive, there's a price to pay. You gotta give to give it away. Say help me, say help me, oh my Lord. Oh, Santa cold in the pouring rain, trials of life will never vain. Don't let the cow be put to shame. Gotta serve if you want the same. Say send me right now. Heaven is watching, see what we will do. Everything that you turn around gonna come right back to you. I've got this notion that we could do more. Take that old devil now, throw him down on the killing floor. We should be walking the miracle mile. Anyone that we deny the Lord on high. Everybody's got something they can give every day. Make a little bit better, help somebody find a way. This old life keeps rolling, surely does every day. Make a little bit better, help somebody find a way. Gotta light the way on the way home back. Light the way on the way home back. Light the way on the way home back. Light the way. When my Savior Lord walked the earth, he talked about us singing birth. Spilled his blood on the ground, gave his life without a sound. Said not mine, but your will be done. Heaven is watching, see what we will do. Everything that's turned around gonna come right back to you. I've got this notion that we could do more. Take that old devil now, throw him down on the killing floor. We should be walking the miracle mile. Anyone that we deny the Lord on high. Gotta light the way on the way home back. Light the way on the way home back. Light the way on the way home back. somebody find a way. This old life keeps rolling, surely comes every day. Make a little bit better, help somebody find a way. Get a light the way on the way home back. 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 Light the way. Light the way on the way home back. Light the way back.
Jamie brings, I think, the youth to our band that we all love to keep and like to have. He brings excitement and new ideas where a lot of times we might not think about him, being a little older than him.
Jamie Rowe is definitely the clown of Guardian. I say that not because of his lovely red hair, but because he has the ability to make us laugh and always keep things loose and having a good time. A lot of times we'll be tense after a 500-mile drive cramped in a van, and he has a way of breaking the ice and stuff. And Jamie is genuinely a nice guy. He's probably one of the nicest guys I've ever known in that he's really got a giving spirit.
He's too tall, his hair's too red, he's way too good of a singer for his own good.
If I had to say one word, I would probably say slob.
We got to do another video from Swing Swang Swung. We did a song called See You in Heaven. That was cool because I wrote that song. It really meant a lot to me. And to do it in video form was really cool. It was actually a song about my mother dying when I was young, and just about dealing with all those feelings and those issues of growing up and not having that parent there and missing out on a lot of those things, you know, a lot of those joys and just a lot of that experience with your parent not being there. And it's been a really useful tool. A lot of people have seen the video, a lot of people that have seen us live in concert or actually listening to the song on record. God has really used that because we just keep running into people at shows, more and more people that have lost a loved one, a parent, a friend, you know, a grandparent, and that type of thing. And man, every show we get people writing us notes or coming up to us personally and saying that God has really used that song to minister to them. And I think I just feel fortunate that we got to make a video for it. And this one's called See You in Heaven.
It's hard to say goodbye, my friend, but this waiting can last forever. Sooner or later the sun must set, ending this time together. I wish that I had one more chance to spend another day with you. And even though I know I can't, I'll see you in heaven. I'll see you in heaven. The only thing that hurts more than losing you are all of the years of living without you. I wanna run back to you and show you the life I've lived without you. 'Cause living without you is the only thing that hurts more than you. Oh, I see a picture of a little child standing alone, wondering where you are. I can't believe how this child has grown, living his life sometimes so alone, wishing I had one more chance to have you hold me once again. Now even though I know you can, you hold me in heaven. You hold me in heaven. The only thing that hurts more than losing you are all of the years of living without you. I wanna run back show you the life I've lived without you. 'Cause living without you is the only thing that hurts more than you. I've let so many years of life go by, thinking it's all worked out. Now I realize I do know how to say that it's over and let you go for now. Still I wish that I had one more chance to say I love you one more time. And even though I know I can't, I'll say it in heaven. I'll say it in heaven. The only thing that hurts more than losing you are all of the years living without you. I wanna run back to you and show you the life I've lived without you. 'Cause living without you is the only thing that hurts more than you. That's why living without you is the only thing that hurts more than you. I'll see you in heaven.
Carl Ney is, is a great drummer and everything, but he's also my road roomie. So, which means basically, for the last 5 years, there's been about 3/4 of the year we've lived together. So we kind of know a little bit about each other, and I can just say, he's a real good friend. All the guys in the band are just really good friends. It's not what you see on stage is not just the four of us, like tolerating each other. We're all friends and everything, but I don't know. He's just a good person all around and stuff.
His nose doesn't work half the time on the road. I always ask him that question. Carl, does your nose work?
Carl Ney is probably the mystery man of Guardian. He's probably the most quiet one of all of us. He's kind of the straight man, and we always tease him about that. But it's kind of funny. He sits back there behind the drum set, and he kind of sees it all. So Carl could probably tell you more about any of us than the others could.
I can't say one word. Patience. Patience. That's a good one.
Well, we were getting ready to, in our minds, to make another record. We'd just gotten back from 2 crazy weeks from Australia and New Zealand, just dead tired. I think we got in that night, had to leave 3 o'clock the next day, got on a bus with Steve Taylor, and what was really killer about that whole thing is, they're all alternative band, and so and we split a bus, his whole band and Guardian all on the same bus, and they're thinking, oh man, this metal band's coming on. So they I don't know.
Expected us. They were leather, spikes, and chains.
Well, Steve would come out and watch us every single night.
35 shows.
35 shows. He'd watch us just do our set, and he'd be sitting there in the sidelines and stuff. And we kept talking amongst ourselves. Okay, what's the next record we're going to make? What's it going to be like? What are we going to do? And I asked Steve. I just said, you've watched us for a little while now. You hear us. What do you think we should do on our next record? And who do you think we should have produce it? We're thinking about this guy, and this guy. And Steve was like, that would be interesting. That guy might work. And we're just kind of going through different things. And so we ended up doing the whole tour with him, and we ended up doing some dates over in Europe and Germany. So we asked him one night
We
in
did
Germany.
an English tour. And then,
England and then Germany.
Yeah.
And so one fateful night, I think it was the last show on tour.
Nights, the light bulb went off.
Ding. How about you, Steve? Yeah. And it just seemed like a natural fit. And he goes, that might be interesting. The great thing is that Steve really saw us and knew us as a live band. And so when we went in to make this record, that's the whole angle we approached it at. Just a live band going in, just jamming out a record. And to me, that's what Buzz contains more than any record that we've done so far. It really sounds like a live record. It sounds like us.
Well, when we were making the Buzz videos, we had an option to work with a few directors, and one that was in all of our minds is not only did we feel Steve made a great record with us, But I personally, myself, and I think these guys as well, we really think he's upped the quality of Christian videos and just videos in general. I think he makes great videos, and just it seemed natural since he was part of the music. He relates to it. He understands it. The camaraderie we had in the studio. Let's just make translate it on film too. And
he understands us, we understand him. That was what was fun about working in the studio. I mean, Steve co-wrote a lot of lyrics with us. He let us be ourselves, but he pushed us in that, Steve's a brilliant lyricist, and he would go, okay, guys, this is good. Go back. It can be better. That was the best thing about working with Steve, is that anyone who knows Steve's music, it's definitely not dull, predictable music.
You know what? When we were up on the grate in the Lead the Way video, we were up about 18 feet high, and it was this grate with holes through it, and you could see down, and there's lights coming up.
Is that all the higher it was?
Yeah, it was
I thought
pretty.
it was about
Yeah, but
18,000
I was still
feet.
sitting up, so it was 20 by the time I got
And
done.
we had 4 searchlight beams underneath us that would blind you if you looked down.
Every time David would get a little excited, he'd start to bounce, and he found this perfect spot on the grate that would make my seat bounce a little. And I just happened to be at the back, man. So I kept looking off the
He
back,
kept looking
going,
back, and then
"Ooh, I don't wanna
he would
fall."
look over at me like, okay,
Knock
dude,
it off,
okay,
man."
dude, take it easy. I mean, we had Cub Scouts in this video. In fact, my son played a Cub Scout and had a lot of fun doing it. It's just wacky stuff. So with that in mind, let's watch one of these new videos.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about it. Let's
Yeah.
look. Let's prove
This
it.
is called Lead the Way.
I got a dash now, compass that won't direct. I gotta get rich, get rid of cost, collect. I got a psychic advisor saying get a life card. I'm getting bad vibes off of your dealer meal card. Tell me why their words ring hollow. Lead the way and I will follow. You can lead me out of this maze. I got shrinks that send me to victim class. I got talk show-offs giving me gas. I got a set demonstrators yelling shove, shove, shove. I got no one teaching me how to love, love. The more I chew, the less I swallow. Lead the way and I will follow. You can't lead me out of this Up we struggle, down we slide. Scared to call on a bigger God. I'm tired of getting snow. Speed the plow. Lead the way, Lord Jesus. I'm ready Lead the way and I will follow. Lead the way, Lord, I will follow. Follow your footsteps through this maze. Lead the way and I will follow. Lead the way and I will follow. Lead the way and I will follow. Lead the way, Lord, I will follow.
The thing that Phil does best is put on ridiculous makeup and get really close to the camera and
Play an
you
old
know,
man.
Yeah, the extra nose, hair, and beard, facial kind of stuff. But
That was makeup?
actually, we trimmed him up a little
that's
bit.
right, straighten him out a bit. But Phil Madeira played the old man and this old man, and kind of symbolizes how he looks. He symbolizes what the song is about.
Here we are in Ben Pearson's basement. had a blast today. Yeah.
And there's definitely an old man in this.
I
this old
ordinarily
man.
don't dress like this. I mean, I am a flamboyant dresser, but I'm really not
It's a
quite
good touch, Dave.
Yeah, I like
this
it.
whack. But here we
Boots
are.
and roses.
That's it. And this video is called This Old Man.
If I would just describe David Bach, I would say confident and stuff. He knows where he's going. He knows where he's been. Just real confident.
In one word, David is definitely the big picture guy.
If I had to sum myself up in one word, it would be mileage. If I had to sum up Tony in one word, it would be strong.
Summing him up in a word is just talented.
I kind of have the mother hen vibe sometimes, and kind of keep things going along that way. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think somebody has to do that, but I love all the guys in the band, and I think that's kind of what has forced us together. So to sum up in one word, I would say I'm a sincere mother hen.
And if I had to sum up Jamie in one word, it would be funny.
To sum Jamie Rowe up in one word, it's ridiculous.
Fundamentalist.
I would hope someone would describe me as happy. And you can describe me as silly too, or goofy or whatever, because I won't argue there.
I always ask them that question, Carl, does your nose work? So I would say, to sum Carl Ney up in one word, plugged.
Boy, if I had to sum up one word for Carl, it would be solid.
I would say consistent. I know that sounds silly, but consistent because I can count on him.
And the guys always say that I bring stability because I'm the most level guy in the whole band. Well, that might be true, so I'll take that as a compliment. I don't have special 3 words for those guys, except I love them, man. I love them.
Hey people, it's Guardian again, this time with the whole clan. And we're here at the house of Carl Ney.
I'd like to introduce my wife, Sandra.
Hi, and this is our son Hunter, who's 4, and our daughter Audrey, who is 5 months.
Hard to remember sometimes. My name's Tony, and you probably know me, but you don't know my beautiful wife, Brenda.
Hi,
And we're going to introduce our clan.
this is my son Jacob, or our son Jacob. He's 6. This is Andrew.
Raise your
and
hand
he's
up, kids.
4.
Raise 'em up.
This is Amanda, and she's 2. And this is the new one. This is Tessa, and she's a month old.
Yay, Tessa!
I'm Jamie Rowe, of course. As you know from the rest of this video, I'm the guilty party here. But the most tolerant woman in the face of the earth is sitting next to me. She happens to be my wife. This is my wife, Heather. And this is our little boy. It's our first 5 months old. He's getting his belly full right now. This is little Christian Rowe. Christian J. Ow! Affectionately known as the Poots.
I'm David Block, as you may or may not know. This is my lovely wife, Laura. That's
Hi.
Our oldest boy, the movie star himself, Joshua, who has been in a couple Guardian videos. And our youngest son, Tyler. Now you can say hi, Tyler. Hi. And we have the latest edition, the 10th Guardian child is right here, and so expect it on Christmas Day.
We have a commandment for each kid now.
Wondering where you are. I can't believe how this child has grown. Living his life, sometimes so alone. Wishing I had one more chance to have you hold me once again.
Hi, this is Guardian, and you're watching Power Source!
Here's our brand new video. Get the thing! You're watching. Stay tuned for our video, Christian Times TV.
Hey everybody, we're Guardian.
And you're not.
Hey everybody, we're Guardian.
And you're not.
Oh, come on. Hey everybody, we're Guardian.
And you're not.
Guardian! Yikes!
Video.
Nightlight.
Hi guys, we're Guardian. We're on the level, so watch street level video.
Hello friends, we are Guardian. You're watching Night Songs with all of us in Guardian. Here's our latest video. Hope it finds you well and friendly.
Hey, this is Tony from Guardian. I hear you guys have been messing with me.
Oh, say can you see?
Our new video right here on Americana Television.
What you see is what you get.
There's lots of things in this world you can believe, man, but there's only one place you can really believe, and that's right here on Believe, and here's our latest video.
So believe it.